Planning for retirement involves a lot of things. Savings, income, health care, taxes. There's so many things going on. How do you make sure your retirement is a successful retirement? Well, joining us to discuss that, Taylor and Laurel Steward, the husband-wife team at Mattson Financial Services, a firm that's been helping people retire successfully right here in West Michigan for decades. You can also catch them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. Welcome back, guys.
Good to be here.
Absolutely.
Are you going to say the same thing?
100%.
See, we're around each other too much.
Finish each other's sandwiches. No, wait.
Right.
So, what does that mean? A successful retirement. That seems kind of an ambiguous term. How do we define that?
Well, I think for us to say, hey, you've had a successful retirement means if we could reflect on and you talk to us and say, these are my retirement dreams, goals, and desires, because that's what we talk about in the very first meeting. And then we actually put this plan together, and at the end of this dating, right, we call it like a dating relationship, we start now the whole plan for you to say, okay, I'm actually doing these goals and things that we talked about. That's success.
Yeah. Perfect. So what should people be thinking about when they're in or near retirement? I mean, you see a lot of numbers flying around, and it gets confusing. We got lives, okay?
Yeah. Right.
We got things to do. So to think about 59 and a half and 62 and mandatory distributions, and tell me you guys got that covered.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a part of the plan, and especially the RMD piece, something that we're going to plan for to help make sure we can provide income but not have to spend a bunch of money on that tax bill as well. So when it comes to that plan, we really want to start with a basis of what do you want to achieve in retirement? What are your income goals, right? That monthly critical income need to cover your taxes, utilities, mortgage, and all that good stuff. And then what does your lifestyle look like? And then we work backwards into it and say, okay, this is what we've accumulated in assets. We need to take a look at Social Security. What about the tax plan? Are you retiring pre-65? So we've got to talk about some marketplace health insurance, or are we talking Medicare? And we've got experts in all of those areas that we work with as well to make sure that from the investment side to the tax piece, the estate piece to the insurance side, we've got you covered.
Makes sense, right? Start at the finish line.
Yep.
Figure out what your goal is, and then work the baby steps back, right, to get there. You mentioned the word income, Taylor. Most people don't think of the word income after they retire because they're not getting a paycheck.
Right.
How do you still get the income?
Well, that's what we focus on, is making sure you're still receiving that same paycheck while you're retired. A lot of people will say, well, how much should we start with? Well, we think you don't want to take a pay cut going into retirement, right? So let's talk about what are you currently making right now, and let's make sure we can provide that same income flow as you adjust. And then from there, you're going to start learning about some hobbies that you have, right? Because people will say, well, maybe I'm not going to go out to lunch with my coworkers every day, so I'm not going to have that expense. Maybe true, but then you're going to wake up in the morning and maybe you're going to go to an exercise class or this, that, and the other thing.
Oh, she's pointing fingers now.
Right? So there's a lot of different things. Yep. But life is crazy, and life can go in a lot of different twists and turns. We want to make sure your plan is flexible to match that.
Absolutely, and I'm sure everybody's favorite word, taxes, has something to do.
Boy.
I mean, because we know that taxes are probably going to be continually go up, and people put a lot of money in their 401k. The company matches it. It's a great thing.
Yes.
But then when you retire and you take that money out, the bigger that total is, the bigger your tax bill is going to be, right?
Yeah.
Right. I think you're hired.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yes.
I'm learning.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions is, well, when I retire, I'll have Social Security, no taxes on that. I'll have my 401k. I don't have to pay taxes on that. And that's not the case, right? We've got
fully
taxed. And depending on what your income level is, a portion of your Social Security is going to be taxable as well, potentially. So coming up with that tax plan before we get to retirement, and even into retirement, we really need to start looking at funding the other tax buckets, the tax-free, the taxable accounts, tax-deferred, making sure we've got a good balance in each one of those. That way we can provide all the income and save on that tax too, and then pass those assets on tax-free potentially.
I love that legacy aspect that you guys always talk about. When it comes to, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but people at that age, I'm sure front of their mind is medical, right?
Yeah.
Because and medical costs are going just nowhere but up.
Right.
So do you guys have a plan for that? Because, I mean, God forbid anything would happen, but it's not that uncommon for big medical bills to be happening at that age.
Yep, and one of the biggest things we see is we need to make sure that we protect ourselves. So if we do have that medical issue or an alive and not well issue, let's say that, spouse A was working and was putting into the 401k and getting that match. Spouse B was, a homemaker, taking care of the kids, going to soccer practice, all that stuff. Well, spouse A's got all the money, And if something happens to spouse A, how do we make sure that we can protect spouse B without having to spend all those assets down, and now all they're left with is a potential Social Security, right? So we need to really set that up from an investment standpoint where we've got flexibility, we can pay for that additional care, and also ensure that we're not going to run out of money through other sources of income.
And people, I'm sure, that you talk to do planning. I mean, most people do at least some.
Right.
When it comes to that, are you seeing, say, a common mistake? Is there a common error that the clients that are coming into your door are making that maybe you could help them not make anymore?
I think the biggest one is the set it and forget it, right? So I'm just putting my money away, but I'm not rebalancing in the 401k. And so the issue that we see is a lot of times people will come in and they're actually invested in a target date fund. Because it's the easiest thing, right? I'm signing up for a 401k, I'm just gonna check this box because nobody's there to help me know where I should invest in. And so with that target date fund, it sets up to say, okay, Laurel, in 30 years from now, your retirement date is, let's say, 2065. Well, as I go, every year it's going to automatically rebalance to a more conservative model because I am aging, right? Because that's the typical thing that you should do. But then we see times like COVID or even last year, right, where no, conservative isn't the answer. The bond market was terrible. So what can you do? Instead, you should be buying into markets that are down, because especially when you're younger and you're putting money into a 401k, now you have time on your side for that to recover. So these are the things that you need to have an active management strategy still within your 401k. Don't let that set it and forget it get you. We actually do offer 401k management, so we can help you in that aspect too.
Guilty. Yep.
Nodding. That's all right.
Yeah, guilty.
We're not trying to, point any
You're
fingers.
shaming me now.
We're just educating.
Absolutely, but I'm guilty of that. Set it and forget it. Just put the money aside and let it go. But to have someone actively managing that wealth, actively managing those funds is so key. So let's get people to your doors on your phones. I know, as always, you bring in this great offer.
Yes, so for the first 5 callers, if you save $250,000 or more towards retirement, like we're talking your 401ks, your savings, stocks and bonds, things like that, you can give our office a call and we'll find a fiduciary advisor for you to meet with and start this discussion.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Laurel. Taylor, appreciate you guys being here. Hey, it looks like a pretty good deal. And first 5 callers, so you probably want to pick up that phone now. All you have to do to take advantage of that special offer, if you're in or near retirement, Taylor, Laurel, the rest of the team are going to sit down with you. They're going to discuss a personal, customized, enhanced retirement plan just for you. It's a comprehensive plan. It's going to look at everything, your investments, your income sources, your taxes, and so much more to help get you to and through that retirement you deserve. Reserve one of those spots now. Call 1-800-536-8907. That's 800-536-8907.